The looks-maxing IRL streamer Clavicular is currently losing everything after a recent overdose on stream, being permanently banned on YouTube on several accounts, and getting hit with a potential career-ending lawsuit alleging battery and fraud. And unfortunately for him, he live-streamed himself doing half of what the lawsuit is alleging. And after talking to a couple lawyers about it, they're very certain this will trigger a criminal investigation. And again, this comes on top of the already chaotic stretch that included, the live overdose in front of thousands of viewers, his management team walking out, some serious issues with his friends and family, and then on top of everything, losing all 3 of his YouTube channels. Meaning, the dude has to stream to stay relevant now and keep his career, but with everything going on outside of his stream, that could prevent him from doing so. And his most recent trouble comes from a lawsuit that was filed in Florida on April 29, 2026. And this was filed by an influencer by the name of Alexandra Mendoza, who's also known as Alora Siva. According to the lawsuit, Alexandra first met Clavicular when she was 16 years old, and he allegedly paid her $1,000 to film content with him in May of 2025, framing it around the idea of making her the female face of looks maxing. She says that he sent an Uber to bring her to his parents' house in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where a party was happening, and the lawsuit claims alcohol was flowing heavily at the house and she got drunk. So from there, things allegedly went downhill, and she claims that after she got drunk and was in no position to consent, Braden was allegedly intimate with her, and even further alleges that she woke up to the following morning to him doing so again without her consent. And after that, the two apparently didn't speak for months, and when they eventually ran into each other again, Alexandra says that she still believed that he could help with her career. So she accepted an invite to a streaming session, and this is when she alleges that Clavicular, at some point during the stream, injected her face with a fat-dissolving compound called Aqualix, live on camera. And I mean, there's clips of this online. Now, if it really was the thing they said it was, nobody really knows for sure, except for them. So obviously this was live on camera, and she's saying without her permission and without him holding any medical license to perform such a procedure. And apparently he was also implying that the Walter White special had also been added to the injection, which is crazy if that's true as well.
Dude, I can already see a clip. Clav injects.
Chat, we're looks maxing her. We're looks maxing her. It's all good. Dr. Clav? Yeah.
But obviously, Clavicular is no doctor. He's not having her sign consent forms and liability waivers to let him do this. So clearly, that live stream clip does not help his case whatsoever here. And Alexandra said even though she continued seeing him because she still believed that he was working to help her career, that turned out to not be the case, as she claims that he eventually ran what she described as a campaign to damage her reputation, which she says cost her sponsorships. And the lawsuit lists battery, fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and unauthorized use of her name and likeliness amongst its claims, and seeking damages of more than $50,000. His attorney, Steve Kramer, responded to the lawsuit by saying that they're aware of the complaint recently filed against Clav. However, he says that these are allegations only and remain unproven. Mr. Peters denies the claims and disputes the characterization of the events. He will respond through the appropriate legal channels and intends to vigorously defend himself, adding that they will not comment further at this time. And shortly after this lawsuit became public, Clavicular was also reportedly dropped by Stake, as he put out a statement on his Discord saying there is no Stake leaderboard anymore, we canceled it. And one could only assume that would be a major financial source of income for him. And even though these are only allegations, and of course, none of it has been proven, some parts of the filing describe behavior that Alexandra says that she witnessed firsthand. One example is her claim that before the stream began, she once saw Clavicular and a group of others using a white powdery substance, which she says she immediately declined when it was offered to her. Now, the reason that detail kind of stands out is it creates a natural link for more recent public footage involving Clavicular, as just a few weeks ago, Clavicular and his friends, including another looks-maxing TikToker, were walking around a mall area in Brick Hill, Miami, IRL streaming. Clavicular definitely seemed off. His speech was very slurry, and he was definitely struggling to pull off conversations.
Holy what's up, man? How are you? What's up, man? Holy
Sure.
What's it say? 100%.
Okay.
Guess no.
Can you take it?
Can I take it? Sorry, I can't even. I'm absolutely gone.
Then kept repeating that he was destroyed and he was doing his best to stay functional.
Sorry. I'm trying my best to lock in, but I'm a little destroyed right now. Holy dude, I'm trying my best, but and destroyed right now.
But as it seems, him doing his best to stay functional was not enough, because by the time they got inside the bar, whatever he had taken really caught up with him. So he sat down, he started swaying, and within a short amount of time, things did not look good whatsoever. Because that's when it became clear to everyone watching that he was ODing.
What's up, guys? We're somewhere I can sit down for a second. Oh my god. Holy. What? Oh, you. Dude, I'm gone. Oh my god. Holy.
I have another IRL streamer by the name of Androgenic, who honestly has a whole lore to himself. Honestly, that's just another video. But regardless, I mean, he's sitting there, he doesn't know what to do, so he offers him a stimulant. And that's, I guess, around the time when the cameraman realized, uh-oh, something's really wrong, so he panned away from Clavicular, and the stream then cut.
You want natty? You want natty? You want an Addy?
So once the stream ended, people were like, okay, what just happened? What caused this to happen? So in the hours that followed, people actually started going through the stream footage and clips, piecing together what Clav and his circle had been taking. And apparently they were going crazy about the pentastack, which is just a whole plethora of substances I can't even say here on this channel. But one of the substances here has a very unforgiving margin. At lower doses, it produces kind of a euphoric and loose feeling that some people compare to alcohol without calories, which you may guess is the reason why it became popular in the looks maxing community. But I guess the gap between working as intended and dangerous is really pretty narrow. And it narrows further when you combine it with a whole bunch of other stuff, which means at a certain point, it stops being recreational and starts affecting your breathing until you pass out. And earlier from the stream, Clav appeared to be drinking this from a small bottle. And apparently this is something that's normally dosed in capfuls. And this guy's just drinking it straight from the bottle. So clearly he was having a little bit more than that intended amount. And then he was also talking about having something he called blue throughout the night, which a lot of people are speculating to be the Walter White special, though honestly it's hard to say what exactly that could be because we can only speculate. But either way, whatever combination he had was bad, and he ended up ODing on it. And after the stream went dark, Androgenic then later explained on Twitter what happened in the moments that followed. And by his account, the shift went from worrying to serious in just a few seconds. Clav went from speaking to being unresponsive almost instantly, and the group made the call to get him out of there and get him to the hospital. And there was footage of Clav being carried out of the venue by his security and loaded up into a black SUV. And TMZ also shared a recording of a call from Miami EMS dispatchers mentioning a 20-year-old male overdose at a South Miami Avenue address where the stream had taken place.
Rescue 16 trying to respond, 20-year-old male overdose. Rescue 16 trying to respond, 20-year-old male overdose.
And what followed was his parents were reportedly informed, and his father, who lives in New Jersey, was now heading straight to Miami. And by the following morning, Clav had been discharged and was back home. And he posted a selfie of his face scraped up from the mask and addressed the whole situation. And he said the substances had been his way of managing what he described as the difficulty of being in public, and acknowledged that the approach had clearly stopped being sustainable. And it was, you know, by his own standards, a pretty unguarded moment. And apparently he said that the worst part of the whole thing was the way the life support mask made him descend, which I guess means that he thinks he looks worse after using a life support mask. Like, hello? Obviously, he's trying to be funny, but like, come on, dude. But what happened after the hospital is where the story just becomes insane. Because on Wednesday, the day after the incident, Clav went live on his kick and he told his viewers that he was done with substances and that he hoped this would be permanent. And I guess that created a real problem for his IRL streaming because the two, you know, they were kind of synonymous. He needed substances like this to be able to stream, according to him.
And I ain't gonna be doing any more substances for a little while, hopefully for forever. But that means I can't really IRL stream anymore. So that's the thing. As you guys know, I'm quite brutal without that. So I think I have to figure something else out. Either practice mogging sober or just find a new form of content.
But later that night, he showed up at Baccara nightclub in Miami for an event that he booked and promoted even before the OD happened. Except this wasn't just any appearance. This was literally the grand opening of his club. And even though the doctors had told him to go home and rest, he was very publicly not at home resting at all.
In the hospital, like, what are you gonna do? Like after you leave? And I was like, dude, I got the club grand opening. And they were like, oh, I don't think you should go. I think you should take it easy, rest. I was like, dude, Got to be on the grind. So that's still happening.
But I guess while all of that was happening publicly, a few things were unfolding behind the scenes. So when Clav's father, Ken, heard about what happened to his son, he flew down from New Jersey to Miami. And apparently the goal of this visit was to get his son help. But that clearly didn't go in the father's favor because the dude went and opened his nightclub regardless. And according to sources who spoke to TMZ, Clav even refused to meet with his father. So on his stream, he told his audience that he wanted his dad there, but his dad never showed up. But according to those same sources that TMZ had, that was a version of events that didn't really match what actually happened. Because his father did apparently show up, but he was turned away. So the father had no choice but to fly back to New Jersey without having the conversation that he came out to have. And then, around the same time, Andrew Janik was escorted out of Clav's house by security and handed a ticket back to Australia, as I guess the people around Clav had apparently decided his presence was not helping. And he briefly appeared on social media to say the situation was complicated and he couldn't say much.
I'm no longer in the US, and I'm not sure how much I can say, but I can say this situation is
Then he was separately banned from Kick after he knocked a woman over during an altercation that happened on stream a few days after everything happened.
Okay, and listen, I just got banned on Kick after the entire night of trying to be as nice as possible to every single person. Everyone who comes up to me, I'm positive, I'm nice to everyone. Everyone's just projecting hate onto me. And you're telling me I break up a fight between two women, I'm trying to save some poor woman getting beaten up, and I get banned on Kick. I'm just trying to spread positivity as much as possible. This is such
But that wasn't the end of his worries, because a few days later, because of the same incident, he was eventually arrested for pushing over that woman. Then on top of that, to make things even worse for the guy, he was banned from both Fortitude Valley and Brisbane City for a month.
I'm going to place you under arrest in relation to that for public nuisance.
Brisbane-based looks-maxing influencer Andrew Janik was arrested in Fortitude Valley and has been banned from the city's Safe Night precincts. The arrest, which was live-streamed, was in relation to a public nuisance incident on April 18. The 25-year-old was taken to the police station, issued an infringement notice and served with a banning notice from the Fortitude Valley and Brisbane City Safe Night precincts for 1 month.
I was arrested for attempting to protect a woman from being assaulted. My bad, guys.
But as if Clavicular's issues were not bad enough, now his PR manager, Mitchell Jackson, announced that he was stepping back until Clav agreed to seek treatment for his addiction. So now he's pushed 3 people that were close to him out of his life in just a few days. But the whole father situation is apparently not something new. That's been building for a while. Because Clav has talked about his parents on stream multiple times, and the way he described it, for the most part, makes it seem like that they're very concerned with how he's living. And he's claiming they're trying to control him. And his dad would call during marathon streams, ask him to sleep, and Clav would always push back. And there's even a clip that's been out for weeks now where the father is on the phone asking for him to rest. And Clav, who I guess has been up for 2 days straight, dismisses it and keeps streaming.
Hey, Dad?
Yeah?
Why are you, like, giving me all these different problems?
I'm asking you to go to sleep since you've been up for 40 hours straight.
Dad, I'm trying to make money.
Who cares about money? I don't want you to die.
I care about money.
All right, well, if you die making it, I don't know who's going to spend it. Just get some sleep, right? We're just concerned about you, okay?
All right, yeah.
We're just concerned about you.
No,
okay? That's wrong.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. I know I shouldn't be up for 2 days in a row. This is the first time I've ever done that, but I've never.
We're just concerned about you. That's all.
No, you're not concerned about me. You're threatening me. You're like, oh, I'm gonna turn off your phone service and all that.
But I guess the most recent tension they had before all of this is when Clav revealed that his father had canceled his phone plan over a business deal that he hadn't cleared. And Clav's response to all this was to apparently block his father.
Block him? Are you kidding me? He turned off my phone service? So I'll just get a different data plan. Yeah, just someone get me a new data plan if that's actually true. It's an eSIM. No, do it immediately. I hate that. He's never done. I don't give. It's on me. It's like, what do you mean you're canceling my phone because I didn't listen? And it's like, I've done more deals than he has in his entire life.
I can only imagine how tough this is for a parent to see your kid almost passing away on a live stream, and then he has like no care in the world to even stop doing the thing that put him in that situation to begin with. Obviously, the dude is 20. He has more money than he ever dreamed of, and this is all from the nonstop live streaming. But if he continues at this rate, things are gonna go really bad for him. And it seems like things are already not going his way. And now he's pretty much only a streamer because, as I mentioned earlier, the YouTube thing happened where all of his YouTube channels were permanently banned. According to him, his accounts were banned with no prior prior notice. And he also posted about it on Twitter, tagging YouTube's official accounts and asking for the channels back. And I guess his argument was the channels were educational resources for young men, and that his team had been careful blurring content and staying within the community guidelines. The problem is he's promoting a whole lot of stuff that YouTube doesn't want to really be associated with, and his YouTube channels really work as a top of funnel for the courses he sells, which then, you know, he obviously promotes certain things that are not legal whatsoever. But YouTube did actually respond to this, and it was a little bit more straightforward because Clavicular's original YouTube channel has actually been terminated back in November 2025 for linking to content that violated the platform's policies around illegal and regulated goods and services. And that's kind of what I was talking about. I just didn't realize that the two new channels were banned for essentially ban evading, because that's what they confirmed it was for. So the first channel got banned for what I thought the two other channels got banned for, but the two other channels got banned for ban evading because of essentially what I said. So as of right now, he still has his Kick account. He doesn't have a stake deal anymore, from what I can tell. He does have his Instagram and his TikTok. So those are up. That's okay. So just in the last couple of months, a lot of this dude's income has vanished overnight. Now, he is pivoting to other types of businesses, which we might go into in the future. But for now, it's really not looking good for him. So I guess we just kind of have to wait and see what happens to this lawsuit. But we'll cover it in the future. So subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.